Hi, and welcome to this installment of Bergeron Briefs. If you haven't seen this show before, my name is Arthur Bergeron. I'm an attorney. I do nothing but elder law. I'm at a large firm called Myrick O'Connell. There were about 65 of us. I say about because people come and go. And as a result, everybody really gets to specialize. I specialize in nothing but elder law, which means dealing with issues of folks who are over 65. I try to supplement the presentations that I do at the Salt Marsh on elder law issues by interviewing people here on Nantucket cable TV who are important people to you for you to know if you are a senior. One of those people is Sean Mitchell, who has been nice enough to stop over today and talk to me. So Sean, thank you very much for coming over.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
And we had met a little while ago, and I got a little bit about your background. But tell me, what do you do right now? What do you do right now?
So right now I'm the fire prevention officer at the Nantucket Fire Department.
At the Nantucket Fire Department.
Yes.
And how did you end up here? Are you an original? Are you a wash ashore?
I'm a wash ashore. I've been here in July. Will be 11 years. On
Oh, you're really new.
So yeah.
You're really new.
Yeah.
And how did you come to wash ashore?
So I spent some time on the Cape
Yeah.
after college, and I was an EMT, and I had studied fire science in college, and kind of knew that I wanted to go in that direction. And so I just started applying everywhere that was hiring, and Nantucket was the first one that offered me a job, and so
That's great.
11 years later, here I am.
Well, this was your first job?
This is my first, yeah.
That's terrific. So
Yeah.
obviously you got to like it on Nantucket.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
You don't mind the cold February, the wind, and all of that?
No, it took maybe one season to get used to that, but now, yeah, it's fun.
And now it's all good.
Yeah,
now
is.
it's all
I
good.
like the change.
And I got to meet you from talking with my friend Kevin Marshall, the kind of the outreach person at the police department, kind of like your counterpart.
Right. I think he's been here about the same amount of time, so I've known him
another
for a
guy,
while.
another one of those non-locals.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about senior issues, and so I asked you to come on so you could just kind of talk about what it is you do as the outreach person, and the places in which the fire department, where you've seen interaction, with seniors, what that's about, right? And then a little bit about, how seniors can be. Your job is to keep people safe. In many ways,
Right.
you're like Kevin. Your job is to in dealing with their homes and to help them out. And so, just kind of talk about that.
Sure.
So what do you do? Yeah.
So firefighters, something that a lot of people don't realize is that firefighters we're all EMTs. So our interaction with a lot of people on island comes through the ambulance service.
Right, because this is a place where the town actually owns the ambulances as
Right.
opposed to other places.
So the fire headquarters, which is next to Stop and Shop, everybody has seen it. Well,
Yeah.
inside there we have fire trucks, we also have ambulances. So whatever call comes in, that's what we respond to, whether it's a fire, a rescue, car accident, or a medical emergency.
I see. And everybody's an EMT?
Everybody's an EMT, yep.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. So we're cross-trained to deal with a lot of different things. But as far as the medical side, we tend to interact with seniors a lot through that.
Yeah, just talk about that. So what kinds of things do you find yourself doing? I mean, obviously there's the classic, somebody just had a heart attack and we're rushing them to the hospital.
Yeah, so there's that.
Just
There's less serious things. There could be a fall. It could be somebody who has some sort of medical issue that they need to just be taken to the hospital for a regular checkup, and they'll call us. It could be on the fire side.
And you'll come in that case. Would you only come in that case if they're saying, I need a checkup and I'm having a heart attack? Or will you come in more in general, right?
Yeah, for anything that they deem an emergency, we're not the ones who determine if that's an emergency, I guess you could say. So if they feel it's an emergency, they call 911, and we go, and if it's something they need to be transported to the hospital, then we'll take them to the hospital.
That's it. And I suppose that makes sense, right? So the presumption is that, there really is an emergency because you don't want to get that part wrong.
Yeah, so we go to a lot of people who maybe they've fallen, and we find out through talking to them that they've been on the floor for an hour or two because they don't want to bother us.
Yeah.
So that's something that we'd like people to know, that we're there. Even if you think you're not hurt, you're still on the floor and you need help getting up, and that's what we're there for.
And that's called an assist, right?
That's an assist, right?
It isn't until recently that I had even heard that term, right? I didn't know that the fire department did that. Right?
Yeah, so
that's a wonderful thing.
And the other thing is they might not realize they're hurt, so we get there and it's not just we go in and pick them up, we'll do an assessment and make sure that maybe they haven't broken a bone or twisted an ankle, bumped their head, they might be on a medication where if they bump their head, they should probably go get checked out by
I
a
see.
doctor. So
I see.
we'll go through the whole thing and evaluate them, and then if they check out okay, then it's just simply helping them back up into a chair.
And that's why, that's why it's so handy that everybody there is an EMT.
Right.
So it's not you're just going there to pick somebody up. It isn't just physical labor. It's
Right.
like you're trained to kind of look at and see if there's something that's beyond.
Exactly. We can pick up on things that maybe even the person themselves might not realize is happening.
Yeah, how that works, right?
Yeah.
So do you also do stuff, outreach to homes in terms of just looking at the house and looking at issues that make it more safe?
We do. There's a program called Generation Safe, and it started in 2015, and when they went out for their first sort of weekend last year, 2016.
Yeah. Generation Safe.
Generation Safe, and that was started by Liz Shannon, who was the previous fire prevention officer.
Yeah. Kevin Marshall keeps telling me you're new.
I'm new, yeah. I
Right.
don't know if I've ever told him that.
Is
but
there an official, right, when you stop being, right?
I figure I have a year to tell him I'm
to
new.
keep doing it,
Right,
you're new,
yeah.
that's right.
And I'll have to get back to him because I don't know what I'm doing yet. But after a year, then I'll have to start figuring it out.
That's great. So it's called Generation
Safe.
Safe. And how does that work?
So it's free, completely confidential for anybody 65 and older.
Yeah.
And it's in conjunction with the Red Cross, and a couple other people are involved also. But basically, if somebody signs up for it, we'll go to the house and do sort of a full assessment for safety. And that includes fall prevention. Maybe it's taping down rugs or something like that, or moving furniture around if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
It involves home escape planning, which is really important, so that they think about ahead of time, 2 ways out of every room, 2 ways out of the house.
Is that kind of more for an emergency?
Exactly,
obviously
yeah.
an
If there's a
emergency
fire or
situation.
smoke or something, and
Right.
if so they don't just think they can go to the front door, maybe the front door is blocked, so they know that they have a back door that's easy to get out also.
Yeah.
There's smoke detection and carbon monoxide detection replacements also.
I see.
So if they have detectors that are either old or not working, or just need to be replaced, or maybe they need some where they don't have them, we'll go in and assess that, and we'll do that. And again, it's completely free and confidential. Nobody knows about it except the people who are going to do it. So that was
terrific.
really successful. I think there were about 45 homes last year.
Yeah.
And hopefully sometime in the next few months we'll get back out again and reach some more people with that.
I see. And when you're doing that, do you do some kind of a public announcement that you're out doing that, or is
There will
was
be,
there
yeah.
some kind of an ongoing thing?
It's a little bit of both. I've collected a few names of people just in the few months that I've been here in this position, but there will be some outreach. I'm sure we'll do Facebook, maybe the newspaper.
Yeah.
I think last time Liz Shannon went to the Saltmarsh Center and spoke with people, and maybe through Elder Services we can reach some more people. So we'll get the word out and
That's terrific.
hopefully have a good response. Yeah.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
And beyond those issues, are there other places where you find yourself bumping up a lot with seniors, or are there particular kinds of calls that you find a lot dealing with seniors? Just curious.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know, that's a tough question.
It is.
Yeah, there's a lot of the medical calls we go on are for seniors. So I guess I could say that. Yeah.
And now I know that one of the terms that I've heard and deal with other fire departments is like the frequent flyers. So they're folks that you find yourself going to those houses a lot. But, yeah.
Occasionally that happens. Yeah.
Because I would suppose if people have got medical problems.
Right. Yeah. So occasionally we do see that, and there's always a good reason for it. So again, those can sometimes be people where they feel like they're bothering us, but we try to get the point across that that's why we're there, and they can call us as many times as they need to.
Right, and I suppose that's the kind of the message for people who are watching is don't think that these are your tax dollars at work.
Right. So even it doesn't have to be a major emergency. It can be. I spoke with someone recently who her smoke detector was beeping.
Yeah.
And she couldn't get up to take the battery out or to check it. And so she took a broom and just started hitting it with a broom.
That sometimes works, sometimes not.
It might shut it off, but then you have basically just a piece of plastic.
And that's a waste of time.
And it's not going to do what it needs to do. So
Right.
something like that, if you call us, we can either talk you through how to see what's happening, or if there might be an issue, carbon monoxide or smoke, then we can actually come and check it out and make sure there's not an emergency.
Right. Right. Just to
Right.
see if there's not an emergency, to make sure that everything is like covered.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Now, do you actually, is there any kind of program that actually outreaches to everybody's house kind of on an annual basis, or is it always in response to somebody calling?
So there are the Generation Safe. Actually,
Yeah.
part of that has been battery replacements
Yeah.
also. So we say change your battery twice a year if you can, at
Yeah.
least once a year for sure. So we've gone through and contacted most of the people who were the initial clients
Yeah.
and gone back and changed the batteries, so we can assess if anything's changed with them.
There's been a change in the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and-
just asked that because I know one of the things that I find, once again, I know we've talked about it, I keep thinking about it as an elder law attorney, you know, this idea of making sure that you've got a sense of everybody who is out there, you know,
Right.
and one of the things that we're actually thinking of doing in another community is literally going back to the census and saying, who's here who's over 80? Everybody here who is over 80. And because of GIS and stuff, you kind of know where everybody is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you just kind of consciously go out and say, as a kind of a public service, hello, you know, we're just saying hello. We know you're over 80, and then we just see if everything is okay, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But because it is an interesting challenge, you know?
Yeah,
just
how
to
do you
kinda-
reach the people that maybe are otherwise unreachable? And so that's why we like to stress that it is confidential.
Right.
So it maybe takes a little bit of the fear away of
a li-
calling.
right, and
you
that
know.
they're not bothering you.
Right, and they're
that
not bothering us.
you.
Right.
Well, listen, I really appreciate your coming on and just kind of talk about some of this
Sure.
stuff. You know, I think it's important, as you say, as I told you before we started, I just wanted people to see you. Well, you're new, you know, so I want people to actually
For
see
about
you.
another 5 months
For
I'm new,
ano-
then
That's
I'm-
right, that's right. And, you know, and to get a sense of kind of what the fire department is doing, and to get a sense of the fact that you can call. Just one other question. I know that one of the things I really encourage everybody to do, everybody, is to have a power of attorney and a healthcare proxy. I said everybody in the world should have that because you never know, right?
Right.
But definitely, once you get over 65, people ask me, oh, you know, I really need a will, I need this. And I say, maybe you do. But what you really need is a power of attorney and a healthcare proxy. So if you were to get when you respond, do you only respond to people who say, you know, please come to my house, or would you respond if somebody said, you know, this is the daughter of so and so. I called her today. She's not answering. Could you call? Or is that a police question? I'm wondering, you know, what you would respond to.
Yeah. So and anytime there's potential for a medical emergency,
Yeah.
fire emergency, a rescue, anything like that,
Yeah.
no matter who calls it in, we go to where that might be. So
You always go.
we always go.
I see. So is there like a joint dispatching system between you and the police department?
It's the same dispatchers. We have public safety dispatchers. So
I get it.
if you call 911 on Nantucket, it goes to the same place. You tell them what your emergency is, and then they'll dispatch whoever needs to respond.
I see. And in that kind of situation, they would actually dispatch the police and the fire?
Sometimes they do, yeah. It depends, I think, what's going on
I suppose they
elsewhere on the island. And,
Right.
But if it's a simple medical emergency,
Right.
They'll definitely send an ambulance, and the police are great. They'll come and help us out, and so that a lot of times they're there also.
Which is also great. That's one
Yeah.
of the, as I mentioned to you, I tell people here on the island, you know, being on the island, sometimes you don't realize how special it is, right? That there's this real sense of community here.
Yeah.
And that people are really trying to take care of each other, which
Yeah,
is, you know,
I
you
think
get
we
into-
all work well together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, thank you very much. I really
welcome.
appreciate you taking the time. I know you're really busy. And thank you for watching. I appreciate your interest in these shows. If you've got questions, you should be giving the fire department a call. The bottom line, though, is don't not call them because you think they're too busy. You know, they know their job and what they want to be doing is really helping. So if you think there's an issue, give them a call. Thank you very much, and I look forward to see you on the next installment of Bergeron Briefs. And thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.